Okay, so completing Unit 1 Non-Calculator Exam, May 2018, Intermediate Tier. Question 1. Using only the numbers in the following list, write down two prime numbers that have a sum of 32. So first thing I'm going to do is underneath each number put a P if that number is prime. 11 is the first prime number. 13 is also prime. 17 is prime. And the last one's 19. We're looking for two prime numbers that have a sum. That means add to give you 32. (13) and 19. Question B, a number that's a multiple of 4 and a multiple of 6. So multiple of 4, multiple of 4, multiple of 4, multiple of 6, multiple of 6. So I can see 12 is a multiple of 4 and 6. And part C, a number that's a factor of 51. So we're looking for a number that will divide into 51 exactly, or a number where 51 is in the times table. 10 won't go into 51, it'd go into 50. 11 won't go into 51, it would go into 55. As I keep working across the list, 51 can be divided by 17, goes into it 3 times, or 3 70s is 51, so 17 is a factor. Question 2. Question 2 is a multiple choice question, so you only get a mark for circling, highlighting or writing the correct answer on the answer line. One of the easiest things to remember about miles and kilometers is that 5 miles equals 8 kilometers. This is a fact that's normally on the wall in a classroom. So if we've got 16 kilometers, we're going to have 10 miles. For part B, this is actually a fact that's on the wall in the classroom. And £2 or 2.2 pound is approximately equal to 1 kg. For litres and pints, quite often we talk about 1 litre being 1.75 pints. And if you have 4 litres, you can have 4 of these. That's approximately 7 pints. Question 3. In question 3, you need to find the coordinates for this straight line. You will be replacing the x value in the equation with the x values from the table at the top of the page. For the first one, -2 take away 3. For the second one, 2 take away 3. And for the last one, 4 take away 3. In part B of the question, you have to plot the coordinates and join them together to make the straight line. So across to -4 and down to -7, across to -2 and down to -5, 0 -3, 2 -1, 4 1 and 6 3. If I've made a mistake in any of my earlier calculations, one of the coordinates would have been out of line. Because these coordinates can be joined together with that straight line, I know that I have the correct coordinates in table A. Part C over here tells you that the diagonal is actually the diagonal of a square and wants you to write down the coordinates of all 4 corners. So 2 of them I'll know by looking at the line, the other 2 I'll have to work out. So the coordinate 6, 3 is one of the corners of the square. The coordinate -4, -7 is one of the others. If I complete the square, I can see this corner here is 6 -7, and the top corner here is -4, 3. -4, 3, 6, 3, -4, -7, 6, -7. They're my 4 coordinates. Question 4. A bag contains a number of different coloured balls. A ball is selected at random. The probability of selecting a blue ball is 0.3. Why is the following statement incorrect? Explain your answer clearly. More than half of the balls in the bag are blue. So this is incorrect. If more than half were blue, the probability of selecting a blue ball would be greater than 0.5. Part B. What is the probability that a ball selected at random is not blue? 1 is the total of all probability. If blue is worth 0.3, not blue is worth 0.7. There are 50 balls in the bag. How many of them are blue? 0.3 is the same as 30%. 0.3 of the 50 multiplication, there are 15 blue balls in the bag. Question 5. Question 5 starts by asking you to draw a representation of a cuboid 6 by 4 by 3 on the dotty isometric paper. To start the diagram, you need to establish the Y shape for your lead corner in your 3D diagram. I'm going to draw this so that it's 6 long, and then the rectangle on the front will have a width and a height of 4 and 3. So here's my width of 4, here's my height of 3, 4 centimeter width, 3 centimeter height, and my length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 needs to be 6 centimeters. The starting Y shape here really does help draw the entire picture. Part B asks for the volume of the cuboid. The picture doesn't necessarily help, you just need the dimensions, 6 by 4 by 3. Does say give units for your answer, so there is a mark put aside just for cm cubed being at the end of any answer you're given. Question 6. The table shows the first 5 terms of a sequence. Circle the correct equation that connects term 6 to term 7. I can see that each term is going up by an extra 3. T4 plus 3 gives me T5. T5 plus 3 would give me T6. So T7, the newest answer, will be T6 plus 3, the last answer, plus 3. This is the formula for another sequence. If I want the 10th term, I substitute 10 in for the n value. The 10th term is 9. If I want the 3rd term, I substitute 3 in for the n value. The 3rd term is -5. Question 7. When a question has bullet points, it's a really good idea to work through them in order. This is a 3-mark question, so just by making sure that your chosen answer works for 1 or 2 bullet points will mean that you can gain some marks. The first bullet point basically tells me that I've got to stay between 1 and 100. The second bullet point tells me that 10% of my number is greater than 2 and less than 8. So if 10% is with 2, the 100% would have been 20, and if the 10% had been 8, the 100% would have been 80. So this bullet point tells me that my number is between 20 and 80. The third bullet point tells me that half of the number is a square number. My square numbers, from multiplying by themselves, there are my square numbers to 100. If half of the number is a square number, then I have the choice of 2, 8, 18, 32, 50, 72, 98. They're all between 1 and 100. But I also know from the second bullet point that I have to be between 20 and 80. So some of these are too big and too small. So by looking at bullet point 3, I've got 3 possible answers. 32 is in between those two limits, and half of it is the square number 16. 50 in between those two, half of it is the square number 25. 72, half of it is the square number 36. The last bullet point tells me the number is not a multiple of 4. That's in your 4 times table. That's in your 4 times table. The only available answer is the answer 50. Question 8 is an OCW question, as well as being an area perimeter question. So the 2 marks are only awarded for labelling your work, making sure all your answers have the units in the right place, and making sure that you show any formula or method as you go through. So first off, I'm told you at the top of the page in the diagram ABC is a square whose perimeter is 28. P equals 28 cm. I want to find the length of EC because it's linked to the triangle as well as being linked to the square. EC equals 28 divided by 4 equals 7 centimeters. I'm going to add 7 centimeters to my diagram to be thorough. Tells you also at the top that the triangle has an area of 35 centimeters squared. Area of triangle equals base times height divided by 2. 35 equals 7 times DE divided by 2. I've substituted in the area for the area, the base for the base, and DE for the height. Reversing this divide by 2, 70 equals 7 times DE. Reversing this, multiplying 7. 70 divided by 7 will tell me DE. DE equals 10 centimeters. Sorry. I have the method to show how I worked out EC, and it's all labelled. I have the formula and every piece of my method to work out DE. My units are included and my label. Question 9, part A. Reflect means that I'm going to be using a mirror line. The shape S will be redrawn in the mirror line y equals 1. This is the point, 1 on the y-axis. The line that goes through the 1 on the y-axis, this line here, is my mirror line. If the L shape is 2 squares above, my reflection will need to be 2 squares below. My L shape will be facing the opposite direction to the original. The axis here doesn't help, it actually confuses the whole picture. Imagine that mirror line with just the L shape above it and then the reflection below it to check that you're right. Part B says describe fully. For 3 marks you'll need 3 facts. The single transformation that moves this shape S to this shape T. This is a rotation, so on the answer line at the bottom, the first thing that I'm going to write is rotation. The center of the rotation is here at the origin, so I'm going to write it down as center 0, 0. And I can see that it was a 90-degree clockwise turn. Rotation, keyword for 1 mark, center 0, 0, 90 degrees clockwise. There we go. Thank you.